Welcome back. Squad Squad. Deploy for Gears of War, Part 8.
Locked and loaded.
Ray is
and ready
always
to go.
Jude.
Private Twins, wake the hell up.
No. Remember, Teo. Sorry. Remember, Jova. I'm Marcus and you're Cole, so you have to do a Cole impression.
I forget how Cole sounds.
Cole Train. You know, like he's the African American member of the team, so you have to sound like that typical.
Control, we got what looks like
you'll see when you talk.
Yeah.
Well, forgive me, guys, for not getting to sleep till 4 a.m.
Teo is Dom, and I guess Jeffs can be Baird.
Can I be me?
No, we're doing it based off of Gears of War characters.
No, yeah, that's it. This can be Carmine. Yes, those will be Carmine. Perfect.
Oh,
Carmine. So I'm the one.
Oh, great.
That gets gassed by the scarecrow, am I?
No, you're the one. No, you're part of the running gag. There's always a member of the Carmine family gets killed in every Gears game. I don't know if it continues on. I'm right now in real life. I'm right now playing for Gears 3. And even the strong member of the family gets killed in some more. So that poor family is just cursed.
Wait a minute, hold on. So if you're Marcus, then in Gears of War 2... Wait, I get it.
No, but listen to this cutscene better so you can get a good grasp on Cole's voice.
Control, this is Delta. We're at the factory, but the entrance is blocked.
Copy that, Delta. I'm sorry, but I don't see any other options on my screen.
Don't you have any explosives?
Alright, this'll go faster if we split up.
Of course.
Cole, Baird, you head that way. We'll head right. Radio us when you find an entrance.
Oh man, I don't know, that sounds like a bad idea.
I'll be sure to take that under advisement.
No, seriously, man. Have you seen what happens in horror movies when people split up?
Get your ass there.
Yeah, get your ass to that. Sorry.
Yeah, it actually works really well. Like Marcus being promoted to sergeant actually works really well for the course of the trilogy because Marcus always has some really good judgment. So yeah, it actually works really well.
Mm-hmm.
You can tell he has some leader's skills.
I'm still a bit iffy on the fact that we don't really get any insight in why he got imprisoned at the beginning of the game in the first place outside of the game. Like we have to read a comic to know that. And again, you guys already know how I feel about those.
Yeah.
Well, what happened? Did he get arrested for bank robbery?
I haven't looked at. We'll commentate on the content that's included with this game, but that's as far as I'll go. I'm not really gonna go out of my way to read Gears comics.
The comic is involved in the game, right?
Yeah, I remember, Jova. Well, hold on. Yes, Pedro?
Yeah, this game includes a comic that I think, if I remember correctly, it has the backstory of Marcus's dad.
Yeah, you did mention includes Marcus' dad building up a device, but we'll find later on.
Yeah, specifically in Gears 3. But however, apparently there's even more backstory that's told in comics, and apparently from what I've been able to gather, Marcus's full backstory from when he was a child and stuff like that, and how he became a criminal to begin with, that's told in comics, not in the games themselves, and that's something that I'm very iffy on, to be honest.
Well, I definitely understand annoyance at it. I guess when it comes to the trilogy as a whole, they never really do focus on his backstory, so they figure that we don't really need to know that, seeing as how it's your basic guy goes from being prisoner to official.
I'm just saying because, like I said, the sequels improve a lot. But now that I've played through them, the sequels improve a lot better in terms of the story.
Definitely.
However, for this first game, that's what they could have done. Instead of just having a very typical, look, start attacking, go kill.
Well, it's like we said, that was, okay, when it comes to the original game, that was it being a product of its time, and when it comes to the remaster thing, again, it's one of the problems with it being just a remaster as opposed to a remake. They don't really add in new story bits.
Yeah, the only stuff that we get is the PC exclusive chapters, but those were already in the original PC. This is a remaster of the PC version, not the original Xbox 360 version.
It's again one of the reasons why I prefer remakes over remasters, because with remakes you have a better chance of getting more story added.
But yeah, it depends on the game. If it's something like
Shadow of the Colossus.
Well, actually, no. Shadow of the Colossus having a remake was actually very helpful because it helped with putting in better collision detection, refining the controls just enough. Like it was actually a good idea. I will argue.
And it looking better.
That too.
Although that was a gift of PS2 versus PS4.
And the music was also this time done with a full-blown orchestra.
Oh, don't forget, dude. Shadow of Colossus also got a remaster on the PS3.
It did by Bluepoint as well.
Oh wow! So Bluepoint did both the remaster and the remake.
Yeah, so I did mention the back then, but
Yeah. Marco Fresh specifically said that that it was very easy for a choice because Wada is a big fan of Bluepoint, and
remember, he himself, I forgot if he was himself or one of the big members of Bluepoint, was actually like a play tester for the original Shadow of the Colossus on the PS2.
One of the main developers of the remake was actually a playtester for the original PS2 release. So they're pretty much there's no better developer to hand that game to in general. Like they're the perfect. It's literally a bunch of Shadow Colossus fanboys making a game for Shadow Colossus fanboys, basically.
Yep. In fact, the only thing that kept them from adding on bosses was the wishes of the original creator himself.
Yeah, Wada said that it would mess with the game's pacing and all that stuff. So.
Alas.
Well, it was Wada's decision, so whatever. He'll know.
What are you supposed to do now?
Basically, we're supposed to get deeper into the pump station. Right now, I'm just trying to check. Here's an interesting thing about this game I might as well mention. I mentioned how even on casual mode, this game can be quite hard if you're not ready for it, because I went into... fun fact, this this act, I keep calling them chapters. This act 3, this is the easiest act in the game. Like, and it's kind of weird. Like, again, the difficulty curve is a bit all over the place with this game. Like, this game starts hard, but then when we get to Act 3, it becomes a lot easier. Again, this is another thing that...
So it's a reverse.
Stop for a second. Yeah, there you go.
So, again, the AI in this game is not the best.
It really is a wonder of how far this series has come in terms of pretty much everything, down to the story and the AI.
Well, pre-4 anyway, but we'll get to that.
Yeah,
Anyway.
pre-4.
So, Lieutenant Commander Jova, I have a question for you.
What?
What made you choose to wear those boots? I mean, they don't even look like they fit you.
Hold on. Oh, okay. I suppose it was like
What took you so long?
Belly of the Beast Evolution.
Anyway, Lieutenant Commander, those boots, what the hell, man?
They're very good for traction.
But they look like they barely fit you. Look, your toenails poking out of your front.
Control.
Wait, so you mean they're too small, huh? Also, if my toenails are poking out, I think that's a sign that they are worn down as opposed to just being
Oh,
ill-fitted.
great! We're gonna get a card level.
Delta, let's not
Can you
waste
find
any
any
time
other
beating
boots?
No, it's the apocalypse.
No, actually, we actually usually like card levels in games. But
Oh yeah.
I mean,
curious to
that's
see how
interesting.
this game will handle them.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, guys. Even though the aliens wrecked everything else, the one directive they were given was do not destroy the shoe factory. We need some protection for our feet.
Yeah, that's another thing to but I might as well correct that I said in previous parts. The locusts are not aliens. Again, remember, I was playing this game blind, but ever since then I've gotten through the rest of the trilogy, for the most of it. The locusts are underground beings who have been living underground. They're not aliens. They're actual. I don't really understand what they've been doing before the beginning of this game. Maybe it's explained in the comics. I don't know.
No, did you see? It's like War of the Worlds 2005. They were hidden underground the whole time.
Okay, do you mind?
This tends to be a problem with even the sequels have this. Like sometimes the partner AI is not the best, and the fact that you cannot walk through your partners can be an issue sometimes in tight spaces.
But don't you see?
Like
it's all the more immersive.
It's like with the partner mechanic in Aliens Colonial Marines. Oh shit.
But not to worry, guys.
Shit.
After years and years
What the fuck is that?
Don't worry, guys. After years and years of painstaking research, I found something that could possibly defeat the locusts.
Something to give him indigestion?
No, hijack. Get get every TV on every big screen in the world up and running and show the movie Cats. They'll flee in terror in no time.
You see, Joe, but this is why Dwebs it has to be Carmine, because every tactic he comes up with will just get him killed.
But Dwebs,
how's Cats gonna get me killed?
That reminds me, have you heard that apparently movie theaters are giving a patch update to the movie Cats to make it supposedly look better while in theaters?
How do you patch a movie?
I don't know, but that's how they put it. They are patching a movie.
I think nowadays, I'll say later, man.
And I'll explain after with the cutscene.
Whoa!
Oh, jeez.
Whoa.
Ceasefire!
What a big shot.
Finally, the rescue team.
What are you doing in here?
Waiting for you? I'm ready to go.
Yeah, that's probably not Kindle's.
Control room. Where is it?
Well, you have to get down to the factory floor through that door, but it's locked.
Well, how about you help us unlock it?
Who? Me? Aren't we leaving?
Not yet.
You've just been deputized.
So wait, is this an exclamation now?
Anyway,
God,
Pedro, what happened was,
this is
when the
plan.
original release of the film
We have a
in cinemas,
stranded with us.
there were some effects that weren't finished to the point where Judy Dench's real human hand was visible on screen.
Oh my god!
So they fixed that and some of the things, although I haven't seen the movie, but from what I understand, even with that, the effects are still kind of scary.
It says something that even furries hated that movie.
I think these days the cinemas are still receive like digital copies of the movies to transmit.
Yep.
Not proper anymore films.
Hence why leaks are a lot easier to come by. But yeah, apparently there will be an actual update given to the movie files. So a literal patch update for a movie in theaters. Like, holy cow.
Yeah, it also builds disease.
Such a great contribution to that.
Just kiss already.
Sucks to be them. Well, sucks to be them, like Marcus said.
Yeah.
Survival of the
Oh shit.
Well, Dwebs, in this kind of world, yeah, that's kind of how it is.
So is this like really an escort mission to protect this guy?
No, don't worry. Much like in Naughty Dog's games, the AI partners are invincible. You're fine.
Okay.
Hi, boys.
Oh, there we
I
are.
can smell you two a mile away.
Baird
Who
and
you,
Cole.
man? Get down here and see how much you like it. There's room
Baird
for
is
one
our
more. It's a
tech
fucking
guy.
party down here.
No thanks.
Keep moving. We'll see you at the carts.
Donkey Kong style.
And then we never see them again.
Well, that would suck.
Well, I mean, that's the thing. Every time someone says, I'll see you later in one of these films or games, they die.
Hey, you know, that does get me thinking. A Gears of War movie franchise.
It was actually, if I remember correctly, there was at one point one in consider, but it never came. Nothing came out of it. Much like the Uncharted movie.
Well, I mean,
wait. Oh, the Uncharted movie got canned? I thought that was still on the table.
I think it's still in
no,
program. Remember, Sony established the new division that is gonna be all about having movies and series based on their properties, and the Uncharted movie is gonna be the pioneer of that.
Okay, so it is still in development.
So, what's gonna be, if that is a success, what are they gonna do next day? Everybody's golf film.
Infables, maybe?
Well, okay, what we do know is that Tom Holland is gonna be playing young Nathan Drake, apparently.
Because it's a prequel.
And apparently Mark Wahlberg will be in that movie, too.
There's a lot of
wow.
There's a lot of video game movie projects that ended up being canned for whatever reason. And I'm.
Oh, geez. Oh, well, there goes our protege.
It's like that bit in the load of the car.
Good to know that. Yes, hold on. Great war team.
Let's just stick together and hope for the best.
So yeah, the gimmick here is that you have to move slowly because if you happen to step on a wood tile that is that will break, it will slightly shake a bit before falling. So be careful. If you notice that the ground is starting to shake, it's unstable, immediately go step back so you won't fall and die.
It's an interesting change of pace here, whereas usually you've been charging through guns a-blazing here. Now you have to take things slow and methodical. Again,
It
an
reminds
interesting...
me of. It reminds me. Oh,
And the sequels do this even better.
It reminds me a bit of that sequence in Batman Arkham Asylum where you're supposed to traverse the sewers and you have to move at a very particular pace in order to not wake up Killer Croc.
I went through something like this in Uncharted 4 as well.
Well, this is typical stuff that you find in modern games.
Let's not forget, back then, this was unheard
So
of
wait,
in these sort of games.
It's one way to take advantage
Dom,
of.
I swear to God.
Oh God, Dom, come on!
Just want to rub your backs together.
Is this Resident Evil 5 that was the AI?
Oh, no. Okay. At least for Resident Evil 5, the AI can be useful. I think you're thinking more Resident Evil 6.
Yeah.
No, but it's one way to demonstrate how to use to demonstrate the fact that you can walk slowly by tilting only slightly the analog stick, which is something that I think it was still present already in the PS2 era, but by the time of the PS3 and Xbox 360.
Cute.
By the time of the PS3 and Xbox 360 era, it was practically common for every game.
Fun fact, this little maze thing is randomized every time. Like even if you die and load the checkpoint, it will be randomized again. So no matter how many times you go through the section, you will always have to be careful.
Honestly, it only requires just a bit of patience to traverse, so I actually like that. It's not too difficult.
It's just to mix things up, basically.
I'm rather mixed on randomness in video games. If it's something like, if it's like a casino game or something, then fair enough. But in a game like this,
Okay. It works for that because it doesn't make it so that you can just cheese things by memorizing it. You actually do have to play the game proper and patient. So I'm okay with randomness there.
To give an idea, Dweebs, I think a similar puzzle is the one that you get in Sutopolis City in Generation 3 of Pokemon. You know, when you have to step on the ice in a correct way, otherwise you will have to step over the same one at 2 times and it will break.
This kind of randomness is not even the kind of randomness that you're most likely talking about. Because bad randomness in games is when there's no rhyme or reason to things. That particular thing, all it really does is that, okay, every time you have to go through that maze, you have to do, there's a different specific path every time, which means you cannot memorize, like Jova said, you cannot memorize in advance what the path is, so there is always something to look out for in that section, to make sure that section doesn't become old on repeat playthroughs.
I'll give these locusts credits, they're very efficient.
And very screamy.
The actual method of passing through the maze is not random, it's actually about studying the terrain.
Now you want to know a bad example of random?
This is another thing. Now that I've gotten to the secrets, I can also mention this up. Yeah, the difficulty design is a lot better in the sequels as well, because the casual mode in 2 and 3 actually feel like casual modes. They're a lot easier than this one. Like, the difficulty. Okay, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that I want the game to be a cakewalk, but at the same time, like there's casual, there's normal, there's intense and insane. There's no real point in having all those difficulty levels if all of them are hard. I think fortunately they realized that the difficulty levels are much better differentiated.
This is what they should have made things. Hard, very hard, very, very hard, and there's one of them things from Doom.
Oh hey Dom, nice. Oh hey Dom, nice to see you survived the swarm of locusts out there.
As you know, you might have noticed how I died almost instantly earlier there. That would have never happened in the sequels. In the sequels in casual mode, you have a lot more resistance to damage, fortunately, which makes a lot more sense. I mean, if you're gonna go with the easiest mode, it might as well actually be a relatively simple experience. All right, moving on.
So, how far are we into the future again?
How far are we into the future? What?
Yeah,
I mean,
he's asking about when this takes
it's,
place.
It's not relevant anyway because remember this is not technically Earth, but a world that has similar characteristics. Yeah, it's a similar word similar to Earth, but it's just not Earth. It's just done so it's convenient for them to create fictional locations that have instead the similar characteristic to our Earth.
Yeah, basically, it's literally just Earth, but with fictional names, really, because there's no real
Original planet do not steal.
But there's no. I mean, yeah, there's technically unreal sci-fi technology that doesn't exist. But so what? There's been plenty of sci-fi works that have to take place on actual Earth. I feel like it's one of those things where they wanted to create their own mythology and their own cities and stuff. That's more. But seriously, you could have actually made this take place in America, and you wouldn't have to change anything really. Long shot.
Yeah, you know,
this is another thing that's going to become a trend. My personal favorite weapons to use are the long shot rifle, yes, and the lancer. Those are my favorite weapons to use in these games.
With plots like this, I love to imagine that it actually all started with just a couple of wannabe nerdy scientists fucking around in their bedroom, and then it caused all this to happen.
Wouldn't surprise me. So, Pedro, so your favorite weapons are...
That's usually how these things happen. Lancer is the weapon that
don't want to sign on Xbox Live.
Yay, congratulations! You can sign on Xbox Live, Pedro!
That's because I'm playing the game offline. Because the thing with...
about the resonator, Cole? Still in
that's the
one
thing.
piece?
Unfortunately, it won't happen in the next games because I remembered, wait, I can turn off notifications. Dipshit. I just wanted to avoid the possibility of a notification showing up.
That's understandable. So your favorite weapons are the default and the sniper rifle. Not surprising.
I legit thought that bit just then was a conversation in game. Hey man, if you open Xbox Live, that will help.
The lance is a very good. The lance is a very good weapon that dispatches enemies fairly quickly, and at the same time it has a chainsaw which allows me to saw the enemies in half, which is always cool. So, as for the long shot is a great sniper rifle to use, especially considering like I always love using the long shot to aim at enemies' heads.
Yeah.
It can be very fun to use.
And from what I recall, the long shot in Gears of War is very well crafted in terms of aiming and usage.
Yeah, it is. It is. Again, it's a tip. It works exactly like you'd expect a sniper rifle to work, and it works well. Like it's tried and true, but it works. So. Hey Dom, where are you? Oh, where did Dom go?
I think it's on the
he's
other
somewhere.
side of the street,
He had to go back.
There he is. Oh, and the rest of the guys came back. Great.
Yeah.
Yay, we survived!
You're probably wondering, why do some locusts explode and others don't? We'll explain that in Gears 2.
My favorite. We have to wait till the next game.
I guess we're differentiated by the color. The one that explodes are more red, orange, like, or the others are yellow.
Very good, Teo. We'll explain this in the climax of Gears 2. Let's just say there's more to the locust than you think. That's the thing, Dwibs. Like again, that's the only real issue I have with this series. Like I said, I still think that this first game in particular hasn't aged particularly well, but it's whatever.
That's cute. I can't die. Mama said I can't die.
Go on.
No, although I do think this game it does show indeed its age quite a lot. Like whatever, that's fine. Like it's understandable. But the only real major issue I have with this series really is the fact that there's so much backstory that's saved to comics, and I kind of wish. Okay, I can understand this first one not having it, but even the second and third game.
Dom, please.
But without going into spoilers, there's a specific subplot in Gears 2 that involves a specific relationship between the two characters. That's all I'll say. And we only get one flashback from the relationship between those two, and it's a very small flashback that doesn't really tell us much about how the relationship was, and I kind of wish there was more to it to expand more to make the later payoff scene a bit more effective. But again, I'll get into more when we actually get to that. But again, my guess, I don't know, but maybe there's more to it in the comics. But well, that's the thing. Whatever. I'm not gonna rag on this one. Moving on.
Alright, Ben, what's your report?
Well, we phased through a few surfaces here and there, but we managed to... Oh, crap, a boomer.
Jack, open the door. Oh shit, boomers.
They're packing heat, man!
It's a trap.
Anytime.
This is gonna be a running thing throughout the series. We have to protect Jack while he opens fire. From what I understand, I've heard this from people. Apparently, the robot that we have in Gears 4 and 5, sorry, Gears 5 specifically. Apparently, Gears 5 has some RPG elements where you can upgrade your robot with XP points and shit. Sounds a bit unnecessary, but whatever. I'll see it for myself when I get to that game.
Depending on how you like to work with your upgrades will determine how much you enjoy it. That's one of the main points of contention a lot of people have, among other things.
Coalition cargo, yeah. But that's where the name of the Coalition studio gets from. But the Coalition is an actual,
in-universe Primo brand.
Yeah. Yes, it's an actual in-universe brand. Yes. So, as a little in-joke, Rod Ferguson named the studio the Coalition.
No way am I standing next
Yay!
to you.
Everybody get a seat.
Let's do this thing.
Okay.
See, he agreed.
Oh no!
No.
Now I'm getting horror flashbacks to the car part of the Harry Potter Philosopher's Stone game.
Oh,
We have to swivel around getting all the coins.
Again, Teo, no one can stop the coal train.
Shame you played this. A shame you played the Ethereum version because the PC version doesn't even have that.
I don't have the right PC.
Yeah, but actually, that brings up a good point. Like to expand upon what I'm saying. You know who my favorite member of the Delta Squad is? Actually, Cole. Not only because he's funny, but in particular in Gears 3, where we actually get his full-blown backstory, and we get some really good scenes with them.
Oh yeah.
And that's the thing. I kind of wish we got the exact same treatment for the other members, like Cole did. Like, I like Cole a lot, specifically because they went out of their way to flesh out his character so much, and I kind of wish all of the other members got equal time in terms of backstory, in the games themselves, I mean. But whatever, I guess beggars can't be choosers.
Would have been nice if, we could have gotten some more backstory than in Gears 4 and 5. Oh, wait.
Whoa.
Oh, boy.
Let's not address that.
Yeah,
Okay, speaking of the roller coaster that is, how about we get ready for this roller coaster? Keep your hands and feet inside the car at all times and avoid any dangerous bouts of acid.
This is the worst Alton Towers ride I've ever been on. Where are the seats? Where's the safety bar?
Yeah.
That reminds, actually, Joe, that you just reminded me of something. When it comes to making Kate the new main character, now I can tell you that Jova, that that woman who keeps talking to us.
Yeah.
In the game. Later on in the third game, she's gonna become a gear herself, and she's gonna have be a side character who helps out occasionally in the gunfights.
Is she done as well as Anya?
Like I said, it's her. It's the blonde
The
woman who's
mission
been
control.
Oh,
yeah. Yeah, not just that, Joe. We're also gonna get another new female character in Gears 3, who's also a really good, cool character. So you'd think they would. So if they wanted to have a female protagonist, you'd think they would expand upon those two characters, Uncharted Lost Legacy style. But no.
Now let's get into. Oh boy!
Shit!
He's okay.
Oh, and here's something you'll like, Dwibs. Guess who voices one of those two female characters from Gears 3? Claudia Black.
Can we do it
Oh.
again?
Control, this
Oh,
is
cool.
Delta.
Yeah. In case you forgot, Claudia Black is the one who plays Chloe in the Uncharted series.
You're almost
Nice.
there. The drilling platforms are straight ahead in the core room.
You guys hear that? Yep. Then move
And yeah, it's a
out.
good thing you mentioned that. It is really jarring about Gears 4 and 5. Like, well, they did such a good job with female characters in 2 and 3. So, what happened with 4 and 5?
Well, 3 specifically. Anya still didn't do anything outside of giving us support. It was in 3 that they introduced Anya shooting, and Samantha was also introduced. It was technically 3 that started it, but yeah, I get what you mean.
Fair point.
Alright, see you next part, everybody. Let's see if we can, actually get out of here and drop the bomb.
Yeah.
Alright. Ciao.
See ya.